Hi, thanks for tuning in. This is a face of the day meets a vlog over the course of a week. I have a basket, I pull some items from my collection, I put them in the basket, and then I give them focused use over a week. And I'm doing this to replace the time I spend consuming makeup and replacing that with being more creative and generative in a non financially irresponsible way. I'm not trying to buy any more makeup, so this is nice for me to go into my collection and challenge myself to play and find creativity with the confines of what I have, which is like a sizable amount. I'm not gonna lie, I did originally film this intro to the video on my DSLR, but there's just something about filming in front of that thing that makes me feel so impersonal, or like, I don't know, just how I talk to the camera to my iPhone just feels more comfortable for me than talking to the DSLR. So let me just go into the products that were in the basket for this week. I have two palettes for this week's basket. The first one is the Kylie Take Me on Vacation. I've been ogling this palette online for the longest time. Like, me and this palette have had a long relationship before it finally came into my collection. I can't quite like justify why I really love this palette, but the color story, there's something about, for me, a brown purple, a brown pink, a brown yellow, and then like there's some potential over here. And then I just love the dependable array of shimmer shades that are in here. Probably everyone has these shades 2 times over in their collection. I probably do as well, but it's that in conjunction with these really fun colors that are right next to these really basic neutrals. And in a way, for me, to my eye, they actually go together pretty well. This palette is one of those palettes I have where it's so beautiful and yet I never reach for it. And I think it's because, just going off the mattes alone, because the mattes in a palette always have a big influence on me and the assumptions I make about the looks the palette can make. And I just think, oh, it's an orange, red, or purple look that this palette will give me. When really, there's so much potential in all of these shimmer shades, the duochromes, the glitter, that I think it has more potential than that. So I'm hoping that, a challenge like this, I mean, it's not really a challenge, but I mean, it is. But I'm hoping that this basket helps me reach for this palette and get to know it so that I'm like curious about it and excited about it. Okay, now we're gonna go into the lipsticks. I have used, I pulled like 8, and I think that's too much. I don't think I'd pull that much going into the next basket, just because I didn't get a chance to use all of the ones that I pulled. So here are the 8 lipsticks that I'm using in the basket this week. I have 3 pinks, 3 nudes for me, which are like brown, yellow brown, orangey shades, and then 2 for a bold lip. A diamond crusher, which is like a metallic glittery top coat, or you could use On my eyes today, this is the Kylie palette. I'm using the lightest yellow and the light gray and then all the browns and tapping one of the shimmers, this one, all over the lid. I mean, you can kind of see like some of the shine. It's kind of a basic neutral look, not a lot of drama at all. And then on the lips is blotted lip in candy floss with the Bite multi-stick blondie mixed on top of it, which isn't in my basket, but I'm giving myself the freedom to mix lipsticks to get the color as long as I'm using at least one thing from the basket. It does, I do have some lines showing and it is like sinking into my lines, but that's never really bothered me. Once I realized that people with those like really smooth lips have fillers, I was like, okay, so this is reality and it just doesn't really bother me anymore. I'm more about the colors going together, if anything. A full face look at the look. Huda on my eyes, and additionally like a black from another palette because there's no black, and a ColourPop Posy Super Shock Shadow like ultra glitter pressed on top to add more sparkle. I've got Dose of Colors Knock on Wood on the lips. I've always liked the Dose formula. It doesn't dry to like a really powdery moisture sucking matte. It's kind of has like a little bit of tackiness to it. So I started the look with this because I was gonna force myself to use these bold lips today, otherwise they were never gonna get used even though I put them there. And then they're so loud, and then it made sense to me to pull out this old graphic liner that I used to do to really give me these like full punky vibes. And then, I mean, this takes up like half my lid, but I did want a little bit of dimension in there, just a little shadow here. So that's the lavender and gray from the Kylie palette, and a little bit of musk from Huda, which is like the taupey brown, cooler kind of grayish brown shade. Okay, an easy makeup look today. This is the eye that was infected all last week. What is that? Lipstick. And I have this split corner from dryness, I think, so no mascara, but I'm still kind of liking the look. It's very nude, kind of different from yesterday. So the eye is from the Kylie palette. I have like the lightest two pinks blended all over the lid, and then I have the light brown up in here to deepen this shadow. Velvet Teddy on the lips, and that was like just way too pink, not a nude. So I have Blondie, the Bite multi-stick, blended on top of it, and then I went in with the Contessa gloss from ColourPop, which I think is from I Love Sarahi's ColourPop collab. I noticed that I was really avoiding all my pinks. Pink is so out of my comfort zone. Like, I could wear a dark purple easier than I could wear a pink. So I'm gonna go to sleep and just say it right here that I'm aiming for a pink tomorrow. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna do to wear a pink lip. I said I'd do it, so I am. I think I'm gonna pull the Kylie palette, and I thought of this yellow and this blue. Probably because it's like right next to the pink. This is as pink as I could go today. The Velvet Teddy. And my eyes, I've got the yellow and the blue from the Kylie palette, and I've got some of the brown to deepen up right here. And I've got a thin liner. I've lined my waterline to just kind of define the whole eye a little bit and add a more frame to it. didn't do upper mascara, just lower, because I'm wearing glasses over it, so it's kind of like I don't really need it, but I also feel like it's more masculine without, or it's like less feminine without the upper lashes, which I kind of like next to the pink ass lip. So after wearing this a little bit more, I actually really like the look. I think the pink lip is just really throwing me off. Like, I feel like if I was wearing like an orange, brown, more nude for me kind of look, I would feel a little more comfortable with it, but it's cute. It's cute. I'm thinking of ABH's new palette that they're coming out with, Soft Glam. I mean, I'm not gonna buy it because that's not my lifestyle right now and it's not my budget, but I think I want to do a look that could come out of that palette. Some soft glam on Valentine's Day. I have been reaching for the Kylie palette all week, kind of stealing the show here. So we're gonna go with this one again today. Actually, I'll look at the Huda one. Okay, I'll use the Huda one. Cashmere? Celestial? I'd just be struggling in terms of like the mattes, but maybe I just do like a shimmer over everything and it doesn't really matter what mattes I lay down. We're just gonna go with it. Okay, imagine my surprise reaching for this. So this is the look I did, inspired by the Soft Glam palette, and I really like it. And I was reluctant to use the Huda palette, but I feel like I learned some things and figured out mixing colors. I have Desert Sand, Musk, Eden, Oud, and Cashmere on the eye. I always get lipstick here. It's so weird. I'm like, how does it end up there? And it's just like a blending and mixing all of those colors. And this is Velvet Teddy. I think I'm gonna go for like a cooler toned purple. I'm kind of drawn to this one and this one. There's kind of something similar happening with the Huda palette, but it feels more warm toned, and these two right here, I think I want to make it a little like dustier, dusty purple. That's my vibe today. So I'm not gonna lie, doing this look gave me some trouble this morning. It was looking really muddy, and honestly it's still kind of muddy, but it's a grungy purple look, and I think I still did get it to be like that dusty vibe. So we're gonna rock it today. I have the lavender shade, and then I have the dark purpley brown all over it, and that's really where it started causing a little trouble. But I just blended and layered to add more color and kept blending. I didn't like swish it all around. I just, you go to the edge of where you laid down the color and then you blend those edges. And then I put the pinky gold, it's mostly gold, like right here. And I have ColourPop Eye Candy. Eye Candy is like an ultra glitter, so it's a sheer base, and I put that here to bring this part forward and add more dimension. And then I felt like this needed to be lightened up still right here because I had put that dark brown over everything. So I've used the white and the light pink, and it did make it a little ashy. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I was going for like dustiness, so ashy, dusty, to each their own. Once I put this camera down, if I do anything different, it would be like just adding a little bit more color here to the lower lash line. I went into the purple and the dark purple brown. Okay, now it looks weird a little. I think I have to blend it more out. So I'm just going into lavender, only the lavender on a pencil brush. I'm just gonna like try to connect this. Maybe that will... Yeah, that's better. So I'm just gonna do that to the other eye. So I'm starting to have tutorial vibes, which I wasn't intending. I just wanted to keep you up to date about like my logic behind how I might put an eye look together. That was the lavender and the dark purple. The pencil brush, the lavender, and just out here. And then on my lips, yes, it is Velvet Teddy. It is another pink lip. You are seeing that right. It's kind of strange, but ladies and gentlemen, we did a dusty purple look. Tell me why it's so much more comfortable to film like this, like I'm snapping you guys, rather than this monster right here. Next week's basket. Well, first, like I said, next week's basket, I probably won't do 9 lips because there were some, as you saw, that I, or noticed maybe, that I didn't use. And probably I'll do 4, maybe 5. Okay, we'll see. And the theme for the basket is gonna be my favorites. So it's gonna be a basket full of stuff that I always reach for. Lipsticks, I have no problem already thinking of 4 lipsticks that I would put into that favorites basket. In terms of eyeshadow, I love every single one of my palettes. There's not a single one that I don't like, honestly. So I'm gonna be using a like random roulette decision maker thing to decide which 2 palettes, and I'm also including my ColourPop shadows in there, so it might end up being like a palette and a ColourPop quad of 4 Super Shock shadows. I don't know, stay tuned.